So we did it with the entire game of Doom Eternal. Now we're doing it with the entire Ancient Gods DLC because apparently you guys hate me. I'm not joking. I just want to say, you guys know the option of a one and done video existed, right? But all jokes aside, what's going on, everyone? My name is Cynic and welcome to part 1 of the Ultra Nightmare guides for the Ancient Gods DLC. Now just so you guys know beforehand, I am splitting all the levels in half. All these levels are incredibly long. The first one by itself took me just shy of an hour, and that is including the Slayer Gate and the secret encounters, which I am going to be incorporating into these guides. So don't worry, I'm going to be walking you through everything. In case you guys have never seen the Ultra Nightmare guides, you can click on the little eye in the top right hand corner to the entire playlist. I'm going to basically do exactly what I did there. I'm going to talk about the arena layouts, demons that spawn, things that I do, why I do it, and some possible alternatives you can do, considering with the DLC we all have our entire arsenal. So what I do isn't the only way to do it. And since I am on console, I'm stuck to the 2 primary weapons without having to jumble with the weapon wheel. So my security blanket is Super Shotgun Ballista. You can also use Super Shotgun Precision Bolt for weak points, or even in some cases sticky bombs. A lot of people take massive advantage of ice bombs, which I'm starting to use a little bit more. So with that being said, my guide is more of a foundation, some things to take into consideration, but it's not the only way to do it. There's always ways to recover. There's always ways to ensure you don't die. But with that long ass intro out of the way, let's jump into it. So as soon as you spawn in, don't move. Pull up your menu. Now when you start up the DLC, whether if you have Doom Eternal or not, the game is going to reset everything. Your weapon mods, your runes, and that is stuff that you don't want to realize in the middle of a fight. So before you move forward, equip all the runes that you're comfortable playing with. My 3 recommendations are Equipment Fiend, Air Control, and Dazed and Confused. Dazed and Confused is an interesting one for me personally because I didn't use that in the entire game of Doom Eternal, but with the DLC, there's a huge difference that this rune makes. So Dazed and Confused is a great one. Equipment Fiend is an awesome one, as whenever demons die when they're affected by your equipment, that lowers your cooldown time, which is a saving grace in some situations where, let's say you're low on health or armor, you can just flame belt your demon, kill it, and then now you have even less time to recover your health again doing that same exact method. Dazed and Confused is a great one because it's going to give you extra time to basically circle around a demon. Let's say you get a Hell Knight, right? You get him in a glory kill, and then you get flooded by all these other demons, and you don't want to run the risk of glory killing that Hell Knight and then dying immediately after to all these imps that now surrounded you. With Dazed and Confused, I believe their glory kill window is doubled, so now you have the opportunity to get him into the glory kill, run around the arena maybe once very quickly, circle back to him, get rid of him, and then go about your business. It's also a good rune to help you eliminate a certain demon from the fight momentarily, so that way you can focus on every other demon around it. But another good one is Chrono Strike if you're someone that struggles with, let's say, aim snapping. Anyways, I don't want to go through all of them. Just know, whatever makes you comfortable, feel free of using it. You can also switch runes on the fly, and there's no penalty for doing something like that, so that's something you could probably take advantage of. So as soon as you start up, switch all your runes, switch your weapon mods, because again, that changes. The main ones for me being basically the Destroyer Blade on the Ballista and the Heat Wave mod on the Plasma Rifle, and maybe even Precision Bolt on the Heavy Cannon. But now that all that stuff is sorted out, you're going to move forward, and halfway through this railing, you're going to have 2 soldiers spawn on your left and right, and a Mancubus spawn directly in front of you. Now what I like to do here is I meat hook the demon on the right, pull myself in, hit him with that Super Shotgun, and then immediately turn to face that Mancubus. Also, quick side note, if you get too close to the portal that the Mancubus is being spawned from, those little red arcs or electric pulses getting shot out of that portal can hurt you. So just keep in mind moving forward, if you get too close to any of those portals, even when the Marauder spawns through one of those, that's a good way to have your health going from maxed out to just slowly getting chipped away. But after me hooking that soldier, pulling myself in, I hit him with a Super Shotgun, switch to the Ballista or Precision Bolt to immediately face that Mancubus. Take out his 2 weak points, finish him off, finish off the soldier that's up on those crates, and then I turn the corner to face the Revenant and the Fodder Demon that's over here. There's also an extra chainsaw pickup, which is important to keep at least a mental note of, because when you have a maxed out chainsaw, which we start off with, that's a good way to eliminate any heavy demon from any fight. And the reason why I point that one out in particular is because as soon as I take care of the 2 Revenants, 2 Hell Knights spawn, which by the way, keep an eye on that. So you deal with the Mancubus, you deal with 2 Revenants, and then you deal with 2 Hell Knights. But the reason why I point out that fuel canister is because in this particular gameplay I ran out of ammo, so I decided to chainsaw a Fodder Demon without eliminating either one of those Hell Knights, because I felt like it's not really necessary to chainsaw either of these Hell Knights quite yet. It's better to save all 3 charge ups before you leave this area altogether, because you're going to be dealing with a Dread Knight, you're going to be dealing with 3 Caco Demons at one point, a Baron of Hell, and a Rakentron, and it's much better to eliminate those those demons when you have all these crazy combinations thrown at you rather than just 2 Hell Knights off the bat. So once those Hell Knights are taken care of, you're going to clear out the fodder demon before you can move forward. I want to say make it a habit to flame belch or even take advantage of meat hooking for those little extra armor drops. You're going to come down here, and as soon as you get within, I want to say 10 to 15 feet of this door, a Dread Knight is going to burst through. What I'd recommend for the Dread Knight is lock on mod. That's going to immediately put him in a glory kill and then follow that up with a meat hook or some extra armor drops. I'd also recommend when that door bursts open to back up and move a little bit to the left to lower the possibility of the lock on mod accidentally locking in on a demon behind the Dread Knight, which is a bad habit in this game. It does that so much to me. So you want to limit the possibility of it locking in on either the fodder demon, the carcass, or the mancubus that spawns in the room behind him. As soon as the Dread Knight is taken care of, I'd also recommend switching to the Destroyer Blade, charging it up, firing it through the door. That's going to kill the carcass immediately, and it's going to put the mancubus on the edge of death. You basically just have to hit him with any heavy gun, which I like to use the super shotgun. Once that's taken care of, you're going to enter this room, pick up the blue key card, and make note there's also an extra fuel canister in this room as well, in case you need it. But now as soon as you pick up the blue key card, you're going to turn around, I recommend with the Destroyer Blade in your hand. You're going to walk to the doorway, charge it up completely, and then you're going to fire it. If you do it just right, it should kill the Hell Knight, the carcass, and all the fodder demon in the room. My main goal with this is to really just eliminate that Hell Knight, which you can do with just a lock-on mod, but the carcass can very easily save him, so I just decided to stick to the Destroyer Blade. Fuck. Now we're moving on to an even bigger fight. So as soon as that room is cleared, you're going to move out into the area that we just came from. As soon as you do so, there's going to be 2 soldiers that spawns in on the crates in front of you, and there's going to be an Arachnotron dead center. There's also 2 Cyber Mancubi that spawn blocking both staircases. In case you guys don't know, one staircase is immediately to your left, the other staircase is around the corner to the right. What I would recommend doing is completely ignoring the soldiers that spawn on those crates, make a beeline straight for that Arachnotron, take it out, hit that jump pad, go straight up, and then take care of the mancubus on the far right. And the way you're going to take care of that mancubus is those 3 chainsaw pickups. Or completely fail Destroyer Blade shot, that works too. But either way, you're going to use your full chainsaw to take out one of those Cyber Mancubi. I end up circling around and take care of the one that I haven't hit yet because it just seems smarter to use a chainsaw on a fully healed Cyber Mancubus. And just be aware, as soon as you take out one of the Cyber Mancubi, you're going to trigger 3 Cacra demons. Do not let them catch you off guard, because RIP to your UN run if that ends up happening. So Arachnotron, one of the Cyber Mancubi, 3 Cacra demons, and then you're going to finish off that second Cyber Mancubus. When you do so, 2 Arachnotrons are going to spawn, and when you kill one of those Arachnotrons, you're going to trigger a Baron of Hell to spawn, which, if I'm getting their spawns correct, both Arachnotrons spawn upstairs on the left and on the right hand side, while the Baron of Hell spawns upstairs as well, although dead center, which might be a good idea to know so that way you can position yourself beforehand. I would also say don't forget to take advantage of the jump pad. In my guide on how to fight 2 Marauders, I emphasize isolation and one-on-one combat rather than dealing with 2 headaches at the same time, and I think when you're fighting the Arachnotron along with the Baron of Hell, isolation is key to make this fight easier. If you can utilize that jump pad to go up and down quicker than they can, I think that's a very good advantage to capitalize on. And I still haven't found a very quick way to take care of Barons. What I just like to do is ice bomb them, hit them with the mobile turret, and then a shot or 2 from the ballista and super shotgun should be good enough. I'd also say don't forget grenades are pretty much almost always gonna make demons stumble, and don't forget to utilize the shield mod on your chain gun. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but that can be the difference between life and death in some situations. But once you take care of the Baron and both Arachnotrons and maybe even some fodder demon that might be hanging around, you're going to enter this room, and as soon as you do so, there's going to be a Dread Knight that spawns on your right hand side, lock on mod, and then finish him off with the glory kill. Once you do that, you're going to turn to your left, there's going to be a Mancubus with some shielded soldiers. In this particular gameplay, the Mancubus ended up walking to the center of the room. I fought him one-on-one, and once that Mancubus dies, 2 Cyber Mancubi are going to spawn in this room. So I kill the Mancubus, finish off the shielded soldiers with the heat wave, run over to this room, turn around, and deal with the 2 Cyber Mancubi from this room. I mean, really and truly, you can deal with the 2 Cyber Mancubi however you decide. I think the main thing to point out here is just don't get caught off guard with both of them spawning. You're going to want to position yourself in the other room so that way you don't accidentally back yourself into a corner or end up dying from one of them because you're focusing on the other one. But once both Cyber Mancubi are dead, you should be able to interact with the console and move forward. But before you do so, what I'd recommend is backtracking a little bit, ensuring in this entire area you have all the chainsaw fuel, as that might help you in, again, eliminating those heavier demons. Moving forward, I only have one. Once this door opens, there's another one right there, but I'm just recommending it as it is helpful. But as soon as the door opens, 2 soldiers are going to spawn. I end up hitting them with the flame belch and then blood punching both of them. I move down the stairs and there's a mega health pickup right here, so that gives you max health and max armor. And before even attempting to jump across the way here, what I'd recommend is using your precision bolt to take out the Arachnotron's turret, so that way you're not being hit in the middle of this platforming section. It just makes it a lot less stressful. So you're going to get across, you're going to take out the Arachnotron. Once the Arachnotron's killed, there's going to be a Mancubus that always spawns over here to the left. You can deal with the Mancubus however you see fit. Once he's killed, or I think the same time he spawns, 2 soldiers spawn behind you. It might be reliant on how quick or how slow you are on killing that Mancubus, but just be aware, when that Mancubus spawns, there is potentially 2 soldiers behind you as well. So you're going to take out that Mancubus, you're going to take out the soldiers and all the fodder demon here, and then you're going to move forward into this hallway with all these fodder demon and your first encounter with the turret. Now, shout out to SR in the Discord, which, if you guys haven't joined the Discord yet, link to that is down below. There's tons of people that have already beaten Ultra Nightmare that have tons of helpful information like this tidbit right here. You can actually ice bomb turrets. You just have to make sure that the eye is out of the turn, and you don't need a direct hit necessarily. As long as the ice bomb affects the pillar that the eye is in, then the eye is going to be frozen, allowing you to either hit the eyeball with 2 sticky bombs or hit it twice with a precision bolt, or a precision bolt and sticky bomb, however you want to do it. But that becomes so helpful because later on you're going to come across some platforming where you're dealing with 2 turrets and an Arachnotron, and it's a headache. So knowing that you can ice bomb it just makes it so much easier. Where you're going to clear out this hallway, you're going to move over into this open area where, let's just not list everything in this room. I'm just going to tell you, your goal here is to take out 4 eyeballs in this room while fighting off heavy demons and a fuck ton of fodder demons. So what I do is I hang around here and I don't push any forward until I take out the turret that's right here on the left and I take out the turret that's right here on the right. I basically just use this hallway to go forward and backwards. You are going to be rushed if you decide to do this, but yes, a bunch of fodder demon, but also at least 1 Hell Knight and a Revenant, as I believe there's 2 Revenants as soon as you enter the room. One of them is bound to rush you. At least one always does with me. So I clear out all the heavy demons that are on me, maybe clear out some fodder demon as well, and I don't progress until both those eyeballs are taken care of. Once they're taken care of, I'll move on the outside via the left, ice bomb the next turret, which is right here, take care of it, and then the final turret is straight dead ahead to the back. I recommend prioritizing both or all the turrets rather than sitting around and fighting any of the demons, because the demons are just going to continuously spawn until the turrets are taken care of. That is your objective. You need to clear out all 4 eyeballs and maybe the heavy demon if you choose to do so. Besides the Revenant and the Hell Knight, there's going to be a Cyber Mancubus and a regular Mancubus. You can take those out, but don't sweat so much on the fodder demon, because those are just going to keep spawning in until those eyeballs are taken care of. Once the eyeballs are finished off and all the heavy demon from the current wave are killed, then the next wave of heavy demons are going to spawn, which is going to be 2 Whiplashes and 3 Arachnotrons, along with a bunch of fodder demon. Lock-on bursts immediately kill all of these heavy demons, but I think the main things I want to point out here is utilize the entire arena to your advantage. This is going to be something that is going to help you dominate and turn the tide of every single fight. If you can learn to utilize jump pads, monkey bars. In my Ultra Nightmare guides, I talk about glory kills and using chainsaws as tactical advantages. Those are moments where you're invulnerable from taking any kind of damage. You can take that moment to survey your environment, to see what's around you, see if you get an out after a glory kill or after a chainsaw. What I highly recommend is whenever you do a glory kill or a chainsaw, learn to immediately dash forward, backwards, left, or right, depending on where the demons are and where your escape route or best chances to retreat, regroup, counterattack. In my personal opinion, during this fight, I messed up plenty times, but if you have an escape route or you have a contingency plan, you know where jump pads are, you know, okay, I can use a meat hook on a shield soldier. they're annoying as hell. So not only am I eliminating them, but I'm getting a little bit of my armor back. I can follow that up with a flame belch to these crowd of soldiers and then chainsaw one of them, dash out of the way, circle back around, take care of an arachnotron. I'm sure you're noticing in these clips I'm missing a lot of shots as well. And this is just, I think, prime examples of even if things don't go according to plan, if you are quick enough, you can still capitalize on what looks like a bad situation. As I mentioned before, meat hooking, flame belch, grenades, ice bombs, dashing, environmental opportunities like jump pads, launch pads, the shield mod on your chain gun. Those are all things that are saving graces and can help you escape a very bad or bleak situation. But after clearing out those 3 arachnotrons, the 2 whiplashes, and all the fodder demon, now you can move on to collect the red key card. There's also some health in this area you can pick up as well, along with some plasma ammo and an extra fuel canister. Now I want to take this opportunity to explain something that I feel is very important to at least new players. The game doesn't tell you this, but your Slayer's maxed out. And one of the things your Slayer has is basically if your health is full, but your blood punches aren't, and you're walking over health pickups expecting the health pickups to not be picked up, and you're relying on that extra health later on, say you end up getting cornered or you're on the verge of death and you expect that health pickup to still be there, that's not going to be the case. If your blood punches aren't maxed out and you're walking over health packs, you're basically kissing those health packs goodbye. So just be aware of that. If your health is maxed out but your blood punches aren't, don't walk over any health packs because you're basically sacrificing all that extra health that you could be getting later on. But as soon as those doors open after grabbing that red key card, there's going to be a Mancubus and a Revenant dead ahead of you. I recommend the lock-on mod in this particular case because the game loves me so much. I got an empowered Revenant, so instead of killing it immediately, it just put it into a glory kill, so that worked out anyways. And then I circle around, which conveniently in my case, both Mancubi were right next to each other. I end up hitting one of them with a lock-on mod, pulling myself in with the meat hook on the other one, firing off a grenade, which finished off the Mancubus that I locked onto, hit the other one with an ice palm, meat hook, super shotgun, and then I turn where the Hell Knight spawns. I hit him once, run away like a 5-year-old that just witnessed his drunk dad coming home, and I hit the jump pad. Pay the fuck attention, don't fall off the map, because the game punishes you. The game will place you right in front of all the demons to just bombard you with everything they have. So I spawn in, immediately rush that Revenant, the Hell Knight comes back, and I could have backed up and retreated to the left and kind of circled around, but instead I decided to come back over to this Hell Knight, hit him with a grenade, make him stumble, hit him with a super shotgun and ballista because that'll put him in a glory kill. I finished him off for some of that health that I lost, and then I circle back to this other direction. I'm basically just trying to get my bearings here because I know besides all the fodder demon, there's 2 Revenants and 2 Hell Knights somewhere in this arena, and I figure they're bound to chase me down this hallway, which the Hell Knight does. When he does, I take that opportunity to finish off that Revenant, then I focus on the Hell Knight, and then from here, instead of dealing with any of the fodder demons, I try to find a position to pinpoint where that last Revenant is. Once the Revenant's taken care of, I turn to my left, hit this jump pad because there's going to be 3 Cacodemons that spawn out here. This is one of those opportunities where Dazed and Confused really shines because that second Cacodemon does rush me, but instead of dealing with him, I decide to finish off that 3rd Cacodemon. I got in a glory kill, retreat, circle back, deal with him, and by the way, there's going to be 2 Barons of Hell now. I'm pretty sure one of them spawns when these 3 Cacodemons spawn. I fucked up big time. I forgot there was 2, so don't forget, there's 2 of them. So I immediately see him, I meat hook a soldier, run away, hit the jump pad, and now I'm trying to find a way to get this quad damage, which I end up doing via the monkey bar right here. As soon as I hit that quad damage, I pull out my mobile turret, turn around, and face the Baron of Hell. This is where I messed up. I could have used the quad damage to possibly inflict a little extra damage on that second Baron, but again, I completely forgot that he was even an enemy to face. I actually almost died because I completely forgot that the second Baron even spawned. You can also, during this fight, which I think I end up doing here, you can pull out your BFG to clear out all the fodder demon, inflict a little extra damage on any of the Barons. Turns out I actually don't use it at all. I try to refrain from using the BFG just because I don't really like using it. I feel it's cheap. I'd rather burn away my entire weapon arsenal rather than use a BFG shot. Instead, I end up using the original method. I just ice bomb him, hit him with a couple frag grenades, a flame belch, all for extra armor, and mobile turret. And you should be good. Just finish off any remaining fodder demon in the area, and now you're going to progress back to the hallway that we came from. When you enter the hallway, there's going to be a Dread Knight and some Lost Souls. To deal with the Lost Souls, just fire a grenade, and then you're going to use the lock-on mod for the Dread Knight. Once he's killed, killed, which was surprisingly pretty quickly, you're going to come back out here and there's going to be a Marauder that spawns. If you're quick enough, you can actually land 2 shots on him as soon as he jumps out of the portal, which I end up doing. I end up hitting him with the ballista shot, super shotgun, which stumbled him, and then I get a shot or 2 off. But the Marauders are actually pretty easy. Just take your time, don't rush. You know, you want to be a little bit more on the defensive, just let him open himself up, and just remember, super shotgun ballista is the best weapon combination on them. When the Marauder's taken care of, you're going to take the elevator up. As soon as the doors open, you're going to go to your right hand side, and you can jump on the wall, or you can just jump straight down. And here's your first secret encounter. The whole point of the secret encounters are for cosmetic items. You can bypass this altogether if you want, but we're doing this for bragging rights. Now this one is extremely easy. All you need is your destroyer blade, and I'm just going to let you watch what happens. Easy enough. So once that's taken care of, you're going to jump back on this wall. You can pick up the health or the plasma ammo that's in the area. You're going to jump back up on this wall, go back up. As soon as you get to the ledge, there's going to be 2 soldiers that spawn in. As I mentioned before, I flame belch one of them, meat hook the other, so that way I can get armor off of both of them. And then I turn around and immediately fire an ice bomb across the way. If you're accurate enough, you can actually hit both turrets and the arachnotron. And if you're quick enough, you can take care of both turrets and the arachnotron's weak point, which being quick enough would require weapon swapping, which I obviously didn't do. I was just dragging my feet, but pretty sure it's possible. You're gonna deactivate the fan, which I almost fucking died. This just goes to show if you're quick enough on your feet, you can recover. You're gonna come across, and what I did was I just waited for the arachnotron to jump down, which it was bound to do, because there's one more turret that I didn't want to fight while fighting the arachnotron and the cyber mancubus up there, so I waited for him to jump down, finished him off, then I popped out, ice bombed the turret up here, took it out, and then I would recommend make your decision here, because when you reach the top of the stairs, you're going to trigger 2 cacodemons to spawn on your right hand side, which almost got me killed again, so be aware of that. I mean, if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe take out that turret, rush up the stairs, throw yourself on the higher platform or the back corner there, and then just let the demons come to you and you can take them out that way. In this specific gameplay here, I ended up taking on the cyber mancubus one-on-one and then letting the 2 cacodemons come to me. But what ended up happening was, as soon as I glory killed that first cacodemon, when I dashed backwards, the other one hit me, so that was scary. Luckily for me, there was still fodder demon around, so I ended up glory killing them, and there's also an extra health pack up here in case you need it. After you acquire that health and get across this wonderful platforming section, you're gonna come across these 2 soldiers, which I ended up meat hooking the one on the left, going over to the left, and dealing with the 2 arachnotrons. I actually wait around here because I let the arachnotron rush me a little bit, because along with the 2 arachnotrons, there's also a cyber mancubus here, and depending on where those arachnotrons are and where you are, you can kind of get a feel for where that cyber mancubus is going to be, which in this case ended up being technically in front of me. Sometimes they end up behind you, they might rush you a little bit harder, so it's a good idea to just have an idea of where that cyber mancubus is going to be. So you kill both arachnotrons, the cyber mancubus, clear out all the fodder demon. You're going to move forward, 2 carcasses are going to spawn, which I end up taking care of with a destroyer blade shot, and then as you make your way over to the ledge, a Archvile is gonna spawn, which he's no big deal. You can ice bomb him, you can take care of him with the super shotgun ballista combination, a turret mod on your chain gun. You just don't want him to get away so that way you can spawn more demons. But once he's taken care of, before moving forward, what I recommend is going back, collecting any health or any ammunition in the area. There's a chainsaw pickup to the right hand side on these crates. If you jump into this cage, there's also a mega health, which is gonna max out your health and your armor. After grabbing that, then I recommend moving forward, which on the other side, you're going to come across 3 revenants, a mancubus, and, you know, some fodder demon. You may have noticed that I actually have 3 chainsaw pickups, which you can end up using that on the mancubus or either of the revenants, but I recommend saving that for the huge arena that's coming up. So instead, what I end up doing is taking out each of the revenants slowly, saving the mancubus for last. I end up just ice bombing him, finishing him off with a mobile turret, and then moving on to the catwalks. Now, if you only have 2 chainsaw pickups or you're low on ammo and you want to use at least one chainsaw, feel free to do so. I end up doing that right here. There's a third chainsaw pickup at the top of these stairs, so grab that before you move forward. And once you grab this and you have 3 chainsaw pickups, don't use it until the big arena. But now we're moving on to the catwalks. On these catwalks, you're gonna have an eye directly in front of you, an eye across from you, 2 soldiers rushing you, and some fodder demon. What I end up doing is I hang around here, ice bomb that first eyeball, take care of it. In my situation, it also ice bombed those 2 soldiers, giving me an opportunity to focus on the eyeball across from me. I take care of the eyeball, then I basically just let those 2 soldiers rush me. Now the fodder demon here are gonna keep spawning, so if you want, you can use this as an opportunity to farm for blood punch charge up or extra armor if you need either one of those. But if you get to a certain point, a dread knight is going to spawn, which in this situation I ended up charging up the destroyer blade, which immediately took care of that turret. What would have been a smarter decision probably would have been to lock on the dread knight and then maybe ice bomb the turret, but I clearly wasn't thinking. But now we're getting into the big fight. Now as soon as you enter this arena, a Baron of Hell is going to spawn directly in front of you. There's going to be a launch pad immediately to your right. Take that. Make sure your mobile turret is out. You're going to ice bomb the Baron and you're going to focus exclusively on him with that chain gun. Once you take care of that Baron, you're going to head back over to the launch pad you just took, throw yourself in the air, meat hook the Cyber Mancubus, and you're going to chainsaw him. Now you're going to go back to the launch pad that was right next to the Baron that I killed. You're going to pull out the BFG, fire it in the air. You're going to turn around and you're going to focus on this next Baron that is spawned. In my situation, I went full ballista super shotgun. I ended up getting him in a glory kill. I finished him off. I dashed into this fodder demon, hit them with the blood punch and flame belch. Also, as soon as you kill that second Baron, 2 cacodemons and a pain elemental is going to spawn. Just yet another group of demons my dumbass forgot to pay attention to. So when that second Baron dies, 2 cacodemons and a pain elemental is going to spawn. Keep an eye out for those. I take care of the 2 cacodemons, then hit that jump pad, come back over here because now the Doom Hunter is spawned. Ice bomb him. I use a grenade, but I would recommend 2 blood punches to get rid of his craft. Again with my security blanket, super shotgun ballista, get him in a glory kill, finish him off. And now my one and only heavy demon to focus on is the pain elemental and a bunch of fodder demon. Notice I end up pulling out the shield mod for the chain gun because I still don't know where anything really is. I just know my priority is that pain elemental and I don't want to get caught off guard by any of the fodder demon that just sneak up on me and get a lucky hit. But once that pain elemental is taken care of, you just got to clear out that arena of any fodder demon. Now if there's anything I would say to do differently than what I did is as soon as that second Baron is taken care of, hit one of those jump pads so that way you can get an aerial view of where all the demons are. I think that's what would have made me capitalize on the situation much better, so that way I knew where those cacodemons were before they actually hit me, which in turn created a panic mode, which is something you never want to do in Ultra Nightmare. You don't want to be panicking. Once that area is clear, you're going to move on, and the next fight is you and a Marauder. Just like before, if you're quick enough, you can land a shot or 2 as soon as he jumps out of the portal. But honestly, just like before, just take your time. If you rush it or you force this encounter, then you're pretty much just gonna get yourself killed. The fight is easy. Just take your time, don't panic, don't rush. If you end up receiving a little too much damage from the Marauder than you would like to, then just keep moving. Hit one of the fodder demons with a flame belch, chainsaw them or blood punch them, get them in a glory kill. There's a health pack in the corner of the room. You should honestly be okay. And congratulations, you successfully made it to the first cutscene of this level, or I should say of the DLC minus the intro. I'm gonna actually end part 1 here. In part 2, we're gonna talk about the second secret encounter, we're gonna talk about the Slayer Gate, and I'm gonna walk you through the remainder of this level. But let me know what you guys think. How do you guys feel about the DLC? How do you guys feel about this level so far? If you guys have beat this level in Ultra Nightmare, what are your guides? What are your tips and tricks? Like always in these videos, I like to pin the most helpful comment, so feel free to share your own tips and tricks on certain fights. As I mentioned before, everything I say, everything I do isn't written in stone. It's not the only way to do things, and I love to hear other people's approaches to specific fights and way they prefer to do the things they do. Like always, guys, my name is Cynic. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this did more or less help you out. Part 2 should be out within the next day or so. Forgive me for being so slow. I'm trying to be thorough and as accurate as possible with these guides. But if you guys made it this far, type 7 months my ass down below. But until next time, I'll see y'all later.
Yes, the key to the Seraphim's chamber. Now, we work to resurrect the only ones who can save this world and its people.
The Seraphim's chamber key has been removed. The Slayer has the key. This facility will self-destruct in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.